To watch these important lessons, subscribe to DP Education's YouTube channel right now. Click on the bell icon to stay updated on the latest lessons. Sri Lanka's largest free online school, DP Education.
Hello dear grade 7 children. Today we are going to learn the 18th lesson of the science textbook, that is minerals and rocks. So when we consider minerals and rocks, these are present as the part of the soil. So sometimes we feel that both minerals and rocks are the same things. Are they the same thing? We are going to learn in this lesson, okay? So what are the topics that we are going to learn in this lesson, children? Here, the first topic is features of minerals and rocks. So under this topic, we are going to learn the differences between minerals and rocks. Even though we feel like minerals and rocks are the same, here we are going to learn that they are two different things, and we are going to learn the differences and also examples between minerals and rocks, okay? And then we are going to learn kinds of rocks and minerals. Under that, we are going to learn when it comes to rocks, there are 3 different types of rocks and how they formed. And also we are going to learn a lot of more examples about minerals, okay? And then we are going to learn about rock weathering or weathering of rocks. Under that, we are going to learn that soil is formed because of this process called rock weathering. Right, children? And finally, we are going to learn about rock cycle. We are going to learn different types of rocks. They always form from one over the other as a cycle. Okay, children? So we'll start the lesson. Go through this description. You all can see 2 pieces of they look like rocks. We'll see. Now here, this is given a piece of granite, a piece of quartz. Okay? A group of grade 7 students collected some stones when they went on a field trip with their teacher. Okay, when you go on field trips, not only that, when you play outside also, sometimes you see different types of stones. Okay, children, now this piece of stone is a piece of granite. This is a piece of quartz. Okay? The teacher said that there are rocks as well as minerals among those stones. Right? It was a problem for students to classify them as rocks and minerals. So without any knowledge, we cannot identify. Now, even though rocks and minerals are 2 different things, just by looking at a piece of stone, we cannot identify that. We are going to do an activity. After doing that activity, you will get an idea how to identify rocks and minerals, okay? So it was a problem for students to classify them as rocks and minerals, even though the teacher said these are rocks and minerals, okay? The figures below show a piece of granite and a piece of quartz they collected, okay? A piece of granite, a piece of quartz, okay? So we are going to do an activity related to this. Okay, children? So the activity is inspecting the nature of granite and quartz. We are going to find out what are the features of or the natures of these 2 pieces of stones. Okay, granite and quartz. So what do we need to do this activity? We need a piece of granite, a piece of quartz, and a hammer and a hand lens. Okay, we will write. Piece of granite, a piece of quartz, a hammer, a hand lens. Right, children? A piece of granite, a piece of quartz, a hammer and a hand lens. Which means this type of activity you can even do at home because these equipment, all these things you can easily find, okay? Right. Method. Wrap the piece of granite in a cloth. Now, first of all, before you do this, you can simply observe the 2 pieces of stones from outside. Okay, children? So after that, by breaking these 2 stones into pieces, we are going to observe the inside, okay? So wrap the piece of granite in a cloth. Keep it on a big stone and hit it with the hammer until it is broken into small pieces. Okay, children? Check the nature of the pieces with the hand lens. You have to check what are the differences from outside to inside. Okay, you have to check using the hand lens. You have to observe the small pieces carefully. Then follow the same method with the piece of quartz as well. Using the hammer, you have to break the piece of quartz also into small pieces and you have to observe the inside. Okay, discuss whether there are any differences according to your observation. So at school, you can do this as a group activity. Okay, not only granite and quartz, you can find other pieces of stones and you can do the same. Okay, let's do this activity now. Right, children. Now we are going to observe the difference and nature of granite and quartz. Okay, now here I have a piece of granite and this is a quartz. First of all, observe the nature of this granite, of the surface. You all can see it has a black color surface, and here and there white color parts and brown color parts also there. Right? It's a mixture of different colors. Right? And if you look at this quartz, you all can see it has just one color. Okay, it is brown in color from outside. Okay, we will check the surface of this granite. Look at the surface of granite, children. Again, you all can see there are black parts. Kind of white dots are there. Brown color spots also there. Right? So if you take quartz, get it. Right. So there you all can see some dust-like small particles. Some parts are broken. The color looks the same. Right, children? So now to observe this better, I'm going to take this granite, wrap it in this cloth and break into pieces and then observe. Okay? So I'm going to use this hammer to break it. Right. See. So here you all can see it's broken into pieces. So in the same way, I'm going to break this piece of quartz also into pieces. Okay? Right. Right, children. Now we will observe these tiny pieces first, children. Okay? Right. So using the hand lens, we can look at the inner parts of this piece of graphite. Okay? Check whether you can see. Right. Observe very carefully, children. You all can see very clearly. If you look at this piece of graphite inside, you all can see it has different colors. It has black, white, right? Even light brown color spots also there. Okay? There are some light brown color spots as well. Basically, it has black color and here and there white spots also present. Okay, which means it is made up of different substances. Okay, children? Graphite is made up of different substances. That's why it looks in different colors. Right, children? So now I will show you quartz, inside of the quartz. Okay? So observe these small pieces, children. Now here the brown color parts are the outer surface. Now actually it has turned brown color because of mud, sand and soil. Okay? Now that is because of dust. But observe carefully. Look at these small pieces. They all look white, like small crystals. Can you all see it's mixed with any other colors, children? Right, these brown color parts are the outer surface. Okay, I will take only from the middle parts. I will remove all the brown color parts because these are the pieces of the outer part. Right, I will take things from middle. Now here, there's this big piece. You can see the middle part of that one. Now observe. Can you see, children? The middle part of quartz is almost one color. Right, white, or here like crystal color. Okay, children, but when we observe this piece of graphite, what happens? It has different colors, but quartz, only one color is present. What is the reason, children? When we consider this graphite is a type of rock. Okay, we are going to, under this lesson, we are going to learn about rocks and minerals. So this graphite is a type of rock. Okay, so when we consider rocks doesn't have a definite composition. It's a mixture of different substances. And when we consider quartz is a type of mineral. Okay, so when we consider minerals have definite compositions. Okay, children, so it is made with only one type of substance. That is why we could not see any other colors mixed in this quartz, inside part of the quartz. Okay, so I hope you understood the difference between this graphite and quartz after observing it well. Right, children. So when we were doing the activity, it was clearly seen that the two types of stones, right? The two pieces of stones. Here we used a piece of granite and a piece of quartz. So what did you observe? When you observe the small pieces of this granite, what did you observe, children? There were so many colors. It was made up of different particles with different colors. Okay, children, but when you observe in the piece of quartz, the color throughout the quartz, even inside, right, throughout the pieces are almost the same. Okay, children, so after doing that activity, we can come to a conclusion. Now the piece of granite is made up of particles with small parts with different colors, which means they are different from each other, different types of substances, right? And piece of quartz, we could observe that throughout the entire piece, we could observe that the same color was present. Okay, that is because it is made up of only one type of substance. Right, so after doing this activity, it's clear that piece of granite is formed with different types of substances, particles, and piece of quartz is made up of the same type of substance. Okay, so actually the reason is the piece of granite is a type of rock. Rocks are made up of different types of substances. Right, when you consider quartz, it is a type of mineral. Right, minerals are made by combining the same type of substance. It has a definite composition. Right, children, let's write these observations. Observation. The pieces of granite have particles with different colors. The pieces of quartz have only one color. Right, the pieces of granite have particles with different colors. The pieces of quartz have only one color. Okay? Conclusion. So we can come to a conclusion that granite is made up of different types of substances. Quartz is made up of only one type of substance. Okay? Right. Conclusion. Granite is made up of different types of substances. Quartz is made up of only one type of substance. So within brackets we will write granite is a rock, quartz is a mineral. Quartz is a mineral. Right, children? Granite is made up of different types of substances. Quartz is made up of only one type of substance. Okay? So granite is a rock, quartz is a mineral. Okay? Right. So features of minerals and rocks. Now it's very clear after doing the previous activity, rocks and minerals are two different types of things. Okay? A mineral is a solid made up of one component. Rocks are also solids. Okay? A mineral is a solid made up of one component. Right? One component. Rock is a mixture of several components. Okay? Rock is a mixture of several components. Minerals exist naturally in the earth in a crystalline form with a definite geometrical shape. Look at these shapes, children. You all can see now here, crystal, like they present as, minerals present as crystals, children. And those crystals have a geometrical shape. Look at these shapes, you all can see here. They are different from each other. Right, diamond shape is there. Here, pyramid-like shapes are there. Okay, column-like shape is there. Okay, children, these are the examples for different geometrical shapes. Okay, so definite shapes are there for different minerals, different shapes are there. Okay, so minerals exist naturally in the earth in a crystalline form with a definite geometrical shape. Okay, graphite, dolomite, feldspar, ilmenite, mica and quartz are some minerals found in Sri Lanka, commonly found minerals. Okay, graphite, dolomite, feldspar, ilmenite, mica and quartz. These are some examples. We are going to learn more about these minerals later. Okay, so these are some minerals found in Sri Lanka. Now here these are the examples for some crystalline shapes of minerals are given below. But when you consider rocks, they don't have a specific geometrical shape because they are made by combining different types of minerals, different types of substances, right? Rocks do not have definite geometrical shapes. There are examples for rocks as well, granite, graphite, marbles, limestones, okay? Granite and gneiss are examples of rocks. We are going to learn more examples next. Okay, children? So, we will include them in a table as well, right? So, you can, the same thing that we learn, we can include them in a table as well, like this. Okay, so when it is in a table, you can easily memorize these differences. Right? So here I will write minerals, rocks. Okay. So I will take the first one. Mineral is a solid made up of one component. We will write briefly. Made up of one component. Okay, rocks, mixture of several components. It's a mixture of several components. Several components. Right, children, then we can write they have a definite geometrical shape. Right, crystalline form with a definite geometrical shape. Right. Crystalline forms with a definite geometrical shapes. Right? Rocks do not have a definite geometrical shape. No definite geometrical shape. Right, children? So like that you can write the differences between minerals and rocks, and thereby you can easily memorize these differences. You can even include examples. Okay, children? We'll move on to the next. So we have an assignment to do. With the help of your teacher, get a collection of minerals in your school and fill in the following grid. So even for sometimes geography, you learn about different types of minerals, right? Even in some science labs, there is a mineral collection. So you have to find these type of mineral collections, and you can actually observe them carefully. What is the color, right? What are the other features as well, okay? So you can write the differences like this: name of the mineral, color, specific features. Okay, so when you go to lab, if your lab has this type of mineral collection, you can observe them as a group, and you can write all these differences, features in a table like this. So I will show you a collection of different types of minerals now. Right, children. Now I'm going to show you all some commonly found minerals in Sri Lanka. Right, children? So now you know the difference between rocks and minerals. Now I'm going to show you all some minerals here. Okay. So here, look at the first one. Here, this is graphite. Look at the shiny surface of graphite, children. So this graphite is one form of carbon. Okay. So look, it's very shiny. Do you know why we use graphite? Now graphite is used in pencil industry. Okay. Right. So look at this one. This is calcite. Look at the surface and look at the nature. Right, it also has a white shiny surface. So calcite is used in making fertilizers. Okay, so dolomite, look at this dolomite. Now dolomite contains calcium. Okay, look at the surface, it's also a bit shiny. Okay, so dolomite is also used in making fertilizers. There are other uses as well. Okay, so apatite. Now in Sri Lanka, apatite is found in Nepal. Right? So look at this apatite. Look at the color and the nature of the surface. Right? This is also used in making fertilizers. Right, children? So look at this quartz. So the very clear quartz and other quartz also used in making jewelry. Right? Look at this one. This is called potassium feldspar. There are different types of feldspar. This is one type. So this type is used in making decorative building stones. Okay. Look. Right. So what is this? This is mica. Now mica, here given two types of mica. Right. Look at the color. Now when you look at the changes, this one is harder than this one. Right. Okay, you can see through this. Okay, so mica is very important mineral that is used to make electronic equipment. Okay, right. What is this, children? This is called kaolin clay. So kaolin clay is one main raw material used in ceramic industry. Okay, right. So this is ilmenite sand. Ilmenite sand, look at the color. It's very shiny too. So this ilmenite is used in making paints. Okay, right. Okay. This is garnet sand. Garnet sand. Right? Now garnet stones are used in making jewelries. Okay, right. So here these are only some of the minerals given, and I explained you all only some of their functions, uses. Okay, some of their uses I explained you all, but there are, when you consider these different types of minerals, not only one function, they are used in different other industries too. So I hope you got a better understanding on minerals that are found in Sri Lanka. Right, children? So we observed a lot of minerals in the lab. Right, I even explained you all what are the uses of those minerals as well. So even at school, you also can do the same. Okay, so what you observe, you have to include in a table like this. I will show you, I will include in some of these things we learned in the lab. Okay, so name of the mineral, I will first take graphite. Graphite, right? What is the color? What was the color of graphite, children? Graphite is used to make pencils, right? Pencil industry. Color, what was the color, children? Color was dark gray, and it had a shiny surface too. Okay? So graphite color was dark gray. Dark gray. And it had special features. Shiny surface. Shiny surface. Okay, I will write one more example here. So when you do this activity, you have to observe as many as examples, many as minerals, and you can make your list longer. I will write mica. What did you observe? Mica, we observed in two colors. One piece was black, the other one was light brown in color. Okay, brown in color. And what did you observe? What were the other features? You observed that it was a sheet-like structure. Right? It had layers and it was a sheet-like structure. Okay. We will write what we observed. Black and brown. So it had a sheet-like structure. Sheet-like structure. Right, children? So you can observe the other minerals, and in the same way you can write the special features. Right? So there in the lab I explained some of the uses of these minerals as well. Therefore, you can, even when you do this activity, so if you know the uses, for what which these minerals are used, you can include that also as a column. Okay, children? We'll move on to the next. Okay. So kinds of rocks and minerals. We are going to learn different types of rocks and minerals under this topic. Okay. So you have learnt about the structure of the earth in unit 8. Right. So about 3 layers we learnt. Okay. The outermost surface of the earth, which is called the crust, is made up of rocks. Do you remember what were the layers we learnt, children? Right. So we learned there are 3 layers. Right? And then, okay. Right. We label these layers. Do you remember them? The outermost layer was known as, right. The outermost layer was known as the crust. The middle layer is known as the mantle. And the innermost layer is known as the core. Right? So crust is the thinnest layer. Okay? So the outermost surface of the earth which is called the crust, is made up of rocks. Okay, there we learn what are the different types of elements present. It is made up of rocks and soil. And even in the soil lesson, we learned something called the soil profile. Okay, so soil and the rocks and soil, everything present in the crust part of the earth. Okay, right. So first we are going to learn about the different types of rocks. Okay. So rocks can be divided into 3 categories according to the way they had been naturally formed on the earth. Now we are going to learn how they form as well. So these 3 types of rocks are, next we are going to learn about these rocks in detail. The first type is known as igneous rocks. Igneous rocks. The second type is known as sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks. The third type is known as metamorphic rocks, okay? Metamorphic rocks. Igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. Based on the way they are formed on earth, we divide all the rocks present in the earth as in 3 ways: igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic rocks. We'll learn about them now, okay? So igneous rocks, how are they formed? We'll go through this. About 30 kilometers below the earth's crust, the temperature is more than 5,000 degrees Celsius, right? We learned in the 8th lesson, from the surface, when we go to inner layers, what happens to the temperature, children? The temperature increases. Okay? Right. So because of the increase of temperature, what happens? At one point, the temperature increases so much that the solid rocks cannot stay as solids. Right? Therefore, they melt because of the high temperature. This molten rock is known as magma. Okay? So because of this high temperature, the rocks melt and exist in liquid form. That is known as magma. This liquid form of rocks is called magma. Magma. So during volcanic eruptions, magma flows out. Right? Sometimes you all learned in the 8th lesson also, because of volcanic eruptions, sometimes the substances, rocks and magma present in the innermost layers will come out, okay? So during volcanic eruptions, what happens, children? This magma flows out. This magma, when they flows out, right, when they come to the surface, this magma is known as lava, right? This magma is called lava. So lava gets cooled. Now when lava comes out, the outer temperature, right, the temperature outside the earth is cooler than that of the inside. Now inside temperature is very, very high, but outside on the surface, it is just normal temperature. So what happens, children? Now the rock melts when it is present inside the earth because of the high temperature. Now when it comes to the surface, because the temperature is much lower, what happens? This liquid rocks turns into solids again. Right, children? This magma is called lava. Lava gets cooled and solidifies to form igneous rocks. Right, children? So during volcanic eruptions, magma or molten rocks come out. Then what happens? They cool down with time and it becomes solids or solidifies. These solid rocks are known as igneous rocks. Right? Igneous rocks. So igneous rocks are hard. Okay, igneous rocks are hard. There are some examples of igneous rocks. So in the first example, first activity, we observed a piece of granite. Now granite is a type of igneous rocks, right? We will write some examples, children. Right, granite. Another example is basalt. Basalt. Right, another one is obsidian. Obsidian. So granite, basalt, both used in building constructions. Obsidian is it has smooth surfaces, therefore Sometimes they're used in other constructions as well as to make ornaments, right? So there are many other examples too. Okay, granite, basalt, obsidian, they are coming under igneous rocks. Right, children? We'll move on to the next. So here, this is the process. This is during a volcanic eruption. So flow of lava during a volcanic eruption. Right? So then what happens? With time, lava solidifies, forming rocks. Lava means molten rocks, liquid rocks. When they come out to the surface of the earth, what happens? Because the temperature is much lower, they become solids again. Okay, lava solidifies, forming rocks. And then a mountain of basalt. Right, this is a mountain of basalt. Basalt is a type of igneous rocks. Right, so now you know igneous rocks are the rocks formed by cooling down or solidifying of magma or lava. Okay, during volcanic eruptions, magma comes to the earth's surface as lava. This lava solidifies and forms igneous rocks. Right, children? We'll move on to the next. Sedimentary rocks. It is the second type. We'll go through this description. Sunlight, rain, and wind affect rocks and break them into small pieces. Right? Because of sunlight, because of very high temperature, rock surfaces expand and then they break down. We are going to learn it under all these process, breaking down of rocks. We are going to learn further under weathering of rocks. Okay? So sunlight, because of rain and also because of wind, rock breaks down into small pieces. This is called weathering of rocks. And then what happens? This process is called rock weathering. The rain and wind carry these pieces of stones to other places. Right? So these broken pieces are carried away from that particular place that happened by wind and water. Okay? Other places, and they settle on land, in rivers or sea as layers. This can just happen in just any place, right? On the land, right? On the land, at a different place, this can happen, right? They move away by wind and water and settle on another place. It can be land, it can be in a river bottom or even the oceanic bottom. Okay? So that happens as layers with time, as layers and layers and layers, these small pieces of rock settle at one place, a new place. So then when this happens as layers, okay, when this takes place, one rock layer over the other rock layer, when this happens, what happens? Because of the weight of these upper layers, these lower layers get nicely pressed. Right? They get nicely pressed and they become hard. Right? They become hard and they turn into a new type of rocks. It is known as sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks is formed because of sedimentation. Sedimentation means like small particles like this deposit at one place. It is known as sedimentation. Right, children? So here the rain and wind carry these pieces of stones to other places and they settle on land, in rivers or sea as layers. This happens as layers. Many other things get deposited on these layers. Because of the weight of the upper layers, the lower layers get tightened and the sedimentary rocks are formed. Right, children? Because of the weight of the upper layers, the lower layers get tightened and the sedimentary rocks are formed. Okay? Because these sedimentary rocks are formed as layers, when you observe a cross-section of a piece of a sedimentary rocks, most of the time we could see that sedimentary rocks present as layers. Okay, children? We will write some examples. Right. Sandstone. Now, sandstones are made by compressing small pieces of sand particles, right? Small sand particles, okay? Sandstone. Mudstones. That is formed by mud particles. Siltstones. limestone. Limestone is formed by deposition of calcium or bones of the animals. Okay. Limestone. There's another sedimentary rock called conglomerate. As a mixture of different substances. Right, children? Sandstone, mudstone, siltstone, limestone, conglomerate. Right, they are all examples of sedimentary rocks. Right, children? Sedimentary rocks are not as hard as igneous rocks. The skeletons of marine animals such as oysters are deposited on the bottom of the sea. Right? These get subjected to pressure and limestone is made. Even earlier I told you all, limestones are made by compression of animals' bones, okay, skeletons, okay. So basically limestones contain a lot of calcium because bones are made up of calcium, right? So these get subjected to pressure and limestone is made. Limestone is also a sedimentary rock, right? Limestone is also a sedimentary rock. Now here, two examples, sandstone and limestone. Now observe this sandstone carefully, children. Here, when you observe this sandstone, you can clearly see light and dark layers are there. Right? Earlier I explained because of the deposition of small rock pieces as layers over time, these sandstones and all the other sedimentary rocks are formed. Now here, you all can see how these layers are deposited. Right, children? Here limestone, you all can see the shapes of this here. Shape of these seashells also there. Right, children? Okay. So now you know that when you consider sedimentary rocks, they are formed as a deposition of layers of other rock pieces over time. So when these tiny pieces of rock deposits at one place as layers, because of the weight of the upper layers, lower layers get pressed and tightens and another rock is formed. And this is known as sedimentary rocks. We learn a lot of examples of sedimentary rocks as well, okay? We'll move on to the next. The next one is metamorphic rocks. What is the meaning of metamorphic? Metamorphism. Metamorphism means changes take place. Right, children? Metamorphism means changes take place, okay? Metamorphic rocks are formed by when changes take place to igneous or sedimentary rocks. Okay, we'll go through this. Because of many reasons such as earthquakes, igneous rocks and sedimentary rocks may deposit deep down the earth. Okay, sometimes during earthquakes, when certain areas of the earth gets opened, what happens, children? Igneous rocks and sedimentary rocks present on the surface of the earth will go inside to the inner part of the earth. Right, children? So these igneous and sedimentary rocks get subjected to extreme pressure and temperature. Why? What is the reason? In the 8th lesson we learned that temperature and pressure in the inner layers of the earth is much higher than that of the surface of the earth. So when these sedimentary and igneous rock pieces go into the inner layers, because the pressure and temperature is much higher, then what happens, children? They go through a series of changes. Right? These changes is known as metamorphism. Right? So because of these changes, a new form of rocks are formed and these rocks are known as metamorphic rocks. Okay? So here, these igneous and sedimentary rocks get subjected to extreme pressure and temperature and turn into metamorphic rocks. Right? These igneous and sedimentary rocks get subjected to extreme pressure and temperature and turn into metamorphic rocks. Right, children? So what are the examples? Now, when you consider, you know that there's a type of rock called marbles, right? Marble is used to make different statues, okay? So in India, there's this building called Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal is also made up of marble. Okay, children, so what is this marble? So earlier under sedimentary rocks, we learned that limestone is a type of sedimentary rocks. So during earthquakes, when limestone go into the inner part of the earth, then limestones go through changes and marbles are formed. Marble is a type of metamorphic rocks. Marbles are formed by limestones undergoing changes. Okay, we will write down that. Limestones. It is a type of sedimentary rock. Sedimentary rocks. Limestones undergo changes and marble is formed. Marble is formed. Marble is formed. So marble is a type of metamorphic rock. Another example. Earlier we learned that granite is a type of igneous rocks. Now when these granites, in the same way, when the granite undergo changes, a metamorphic rock called gneiss is formed. We'll write that as well. Right? Granite. Granite is an igneous rock. Igneous rock. Granite undergo changes and gneiss. Gneiss rocks are formed. Right, children? Gneiss rocks. Gneiss is a metamorphic rock. Gneiss. Okay? Another example. There's another type of rocks called slate. Slate is formed by when mudstones undergo changes. Okay? Mudstones. Mudstone is a type of sedimentary rock. Mudstones undergo changes and slate is formed. Slate is formed. Right? Slate is a metamorphic rock. Okay? So limestones undergo changes and marble is formed. Right? Granite undergo changes and gneiss rocks are formed. Okay? Mudstones undergo changes and slate is formed. So these marbles, gneiss, slate, they all are coming under metamorphic rocks. Now you know how metamorphic rocks are formed. Due to different changes take place, due to different reasons like earthquakes, what happens? Igneous and sedimentary rocks go into the inner parts of the earth, and because of high temperature and pressure, these types of rocks undergo changes and a new form of rocks are formed called metamorphic rocks. Examples also we learned here. Right? We'll move on to the next. Here an additional knowledge part we have. Look at this picture. Its name is, it is schist rock. The figure shows a metamorphic rock called schist. An igneous rock has undergone metamorphism to form the schist. The change of the layers in an evidence for it. Right? Look at these layers. Right? These layers have changed here. They are not straight. Right? They are not present as straight lines. Now you all can see this is one layer. Right? So this light color one is one layer. You all can see, but that layer, the lines are not straight. Right? It is wavy. Right? Look at this black color layer over here. That is also not present as a straight line. Earlier, it presents as a straight line, but then what happens? Because of the changes take place due to high temperature and pressure, these lines change and their formation changes like this. Right, children? The changes of the layers is an evidence for it, how they undergo changes because of temperature and pressure. Right, children? We'll move on to the next. So here we are going to learn about different types of minerals. Now we learn about different types of rocks. Depending on the way the rocks are formed in nature, there are 3 types of rocks: igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. Okay? And now we are going to learn about different types of minerals. What are minerals against, children? When you consider minerals, they have a definite crystalline shape, and at the same time, they are made up of only one type of substance. We learned about minerals earlier too, right? So a lot of types of minerals can be found in Sri Lanka. The following figure shows some minerals. Look at this picture carefully, children. Do you remember I showed you all these types of minerals in the lab? Right? We observed all these minerals. Okay, children? What is this number 1? This is a piece of feldspar. Right? What is this? This is a piece of dolomite. I explained you all. It is used in making fertilizers. Quartz. In the lab, we observed a kind of pink color quartz. Okay, now here, number 3 is quartz. Right? Clear quartz is used in to make jewelry and all. What is this? This is ilmenite. Right? This is ilmenite. Ilmenite, in the lab, we observed it as a powder, a shiny black color powder. Okay? What is this? Number 5. This is a piece of mica that present as layers, a sheet-like structure. Here, what is this, children? This is a piece of graphite. Graphite is used in pencil industry. Right? So, feldspar, dolomite, quartz, ilmenite, mica, and graphite. We will write them. Feldspar. Number 1, feldspar, dolomite. This is quartz. This is what we, piece of quartz only we used in the very first activity, right? Quartz, ilmenite, mica. This is graphite. Right? Number 1, feldspar. Number 2, dolomite. Number 3, quartz. Number 4, ilmenite. Number 5, mica. And number 6, graphite. Right? These are only some minerals that we can find in Sri Lanka. Now, they have different uses. Right? These different types of minerals are used in different types of industries. Right? Sometimes the same minerals used in different types of industries as well. Right, children? There are many other minerals that we can find in Sri Lanka as well. Okay? We'll move on to the next. Right, assignment. Collect some rocks and minerals. Compare them with the collection of rocks and minerals in your school. So, how to collect rocks and minerals? This will take some time, children. So, when you play outside, if you see something unusual, a piece of rock, okay, that you haven't seen, always try to collect them and keep it as a collection. That's it. That is how the children who learn science, they always have to be inquisitive. Right? They have to be curious. Right, children? In order to learn something new, you always have to be curious. When you see something new, something different, you always have to pay attention. Okay? So, you can make your own collection of rocks and minerals. So, you can take this collection to school and compare it with the rock collection at school lab. Okay, thereby you can identify with what are your rocks are. Okay, you can make your own collection. But this takes time, okay? collect some rocks and minerals. Compare them with the collection of rocks and minerals in your school. Okay? Name them and show the collection to your teacher. Right, children? We'll move on to the next. So for extra knowledge, look at this. This is very interesting. There are rocks not only Earth but also on the Moon and on the planets such as Mars and Venus. Right. So the Sri Lankan scientist Dr. Cyril Ponnamperuma was the person in charge in checking the rocks and soil brought from the Moon during the space voyages of Apollo. So how interesting is this? Right? So Dr. Cyril Ponnamperuma, Sri Lankan scientist Dr. Cyril Ponnamperuma was the person in charge, right? Person in charge in checking the rocks and soil brought from the Moon during the space voyages of Apollo, right? This is Dr. Cyril Ponnamperuma. Okay, children, so as Sri Lankans, we can be proud of this. Right, children. So we have completed the first chapter of this lesson. Do you remember what we learned in this chapter? We learned that rocks and minerals are two different things, and we learned the differences between rocks and minerals. And then we learned about three different types of rocks depending on the way they are formed, right? Under that we learned that there are three types of rocks: igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. Okay, children? And then we learn about different types of minerals. We observe some minerals in the lab and we learn what are the uses of those minerals. And now we know that rocks and minerals are two different things. So in the next chapters, we are going to learn more about rocks.
To watch these important lessons, subscribe to DP Education's YouTube channel right now. Click on the bell icon to stay updated on the latest lessons. Sri Lanka's largest free online school, DP Education.